Indianapolis Colts and Miami Dolphins week one matchup at Lucas Oil Stadium. We get to see what everyone has been wanting to see, that speed of Miami Dolphins out there on display. It has been a very dramatic offseason for all of Miami Dolphins fans, and for Colts fans, it was somewhat tumultuous with not knowing exactly who the starting quarterback was going to be. Certainly drafting Riley Leonard made things interesting with the quarterback competition between Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. But let's preview this matchup. The first place that I look is at the Indianapolis Colts defensive line, as well as their addition of Tyler Warren. He is the type of player that is going to get the ball in space and make plays when you're able to cater around an offense to get him open. So what that means is creating plays, right? Play action off of it where he's going to be blocking and coming off on a delay. Getting the ball to Tyler Warren, the ball in his hands as often as you can, where he can make guys miss. He has that athleticism to do that. That's what I'm expecting immediately from the Colts. I know he's a young player, but getting the ball, of course, to Jonathan Taylor, getting him over 20 carries, as well as Tyler Warren, something around 8 to 9 targets immediately, stressing that he's going to be an important part of that offense. We know, of course, Josh Jones, Michael Pittman Jr., like this offense can be pretty good from Indianapolis. All three of the quarterbacks from Indy at any point could have a sense of mobility. We know that Daniel Jones can move around very decently well. On the other side for Miami, it's can the connection between Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill immediately be on display? Jalen Waddle, are they going to be taking shots? What type of style is Mike McDaniel going to have early? Devon Achane is one of the more underrated running backs in the National Football League at this stage. Expecting a lot of him out of the backfield, catching the football. If you're a fantasy player, you certainly know a little bit about Devon Achane, something around 4 to 5 catches every single game. Why would Miami change anything whatsoever? Really believe that Indy needs this one a little bit more just because of a Shane Steichen being on that hot seat. When you're in the AFC South in such a weak division, trying to stay up there with the Houston Texans is going to be so paramount in getting this type of win. Whereas Miami, I really feel like the expectations might not be as hard. So let me know in the comments if you really feel that Miami, if you're a Miami Dolphin fan, if you feel like the Dolphins have this sense, this urgency that they need to make it happen right now, that this roster is still coming together. It's going to be tough for the Dolphins to run the football. Why? Right there in the middle, the teeth of that defense is Kenneth Grant, the spectacular defensive tackle from the Michigan Wolverines. Just ask this guy, the Ohio State Buckeyes, how tough it is to run the football on any defense that is going to have Kenneth Grant on it. A very talented squad. We know about Minkah Fitzpatrick, of course, now being back with the Miami Dolphins. Fun to see it. Where is my lean immediately? I have the Dolphins winning this game. Does Latu, does he have an impact early and often? The Colts have a lot of high expectations that he transforms into a player that has an impact, like that strip sack when he had that play on Caleb Williams in week 3 of last year. He had a huge play late in that game to practically seal the deal for the Colts. On the other side of things for Miami, we know that Mike McDaniel, with the utilization of motion and everything, that is so pivotal, especially on the road of not making those mistakes. It's often going to be somewhat of a combination of teams making mistakes as well as there can be a random sort of, blown coverages, a luck element involved with these week 1 matchups. So which squad is going to make the least amount of mistakes but also play freely? Because when Miami does so, Tua can play in a rhythm on time and the defense can play well behind him. You can see an immediate high level of play from the Dolphins. Where we are excited is that the quarterback situation there in Indianapolis could change at any moment. It almost feels like any game we could see a different guy at a half. If someone comes out starting, almost feels as if Riley Leonard could come in, that any sort of combination could be out there on the field, all of them with a very similar skill sets, but really just seeing how that quarterback spot develops. And Indianapolis' season, especially with how good they were last year, that loss against the Broncos just tanked everything for them as a squad. Can they get out to that start I personally don't think so, because I have a lot of faith immediately early on in the Miami Dolphins to stop the run, putting all those resources. That is going to be the game plan for Miami, is understand this. All right, Jonathan Taylor, what are we going to take away their best option? And we're going to make the quarterback try and beat us with his arm and not with his legs. We know that they can do it with the legs, that he's mobile. But can we stop Jonathan Taylor and force them into 3rd and 5? 3rd and 6, where they have to go to a Tyler Warner, they got to go to a Michael Pittman Jr. and rely on that arm in making the plays in the intermediate levels when it's tough, when there is pressure on it. That's the key in an early game in the season, especially on the road for Miami, is getting them into 3rd down, getting them out of 3rd and short, where you just know they can hand off Jonathan Taylor and they're going to be expecting to get a 1st down every single time, just handing off to him twice. So excited that football is back. We are certainly waiting for this one to throw down, to get a result, to have football season start off. Obviously, an AFC matchup between these two teams. We know the history. Dan Marino, Johnny Unitas, Manning for the Indianapolis Colts. We're waiting to see if Tua Tagovailoa can be a guy that stays healthy, play out throughout the season, because when we have seen that, we know how good Miami can be. So that is the lean. The Dolphins beat the Colts 23-19 there in Indy, but expecting it to be very close, to see good amount of offense, also good defense on both sides, that this actually can have a high quality of play from the get-go. But make sure to subscribe. Let me know down below in the comments whether you agree with the prediction, who you think is going to come out with a win in this game. But please come back for more content in the future. Previews, predictions, live streams. We will have all of it here on Blitz with Blender. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you.